I use the Pathfinder tools almost every single time I open up Illustrator, either to combine, cut, divide, or exclude shapes or paths from one another. I'm sure you use them almost as much as me, and if you haven't explored every single one, this is the video for you. Hi everyone, Simona here from Vectortwist, and in this video I'm going to give you a detailed overview of the Pathfinder in Adobe Illustrator. So without further ado, let's get started. In Adobe Illustrator, you can find the Pathfinder panel on the right. If you don't see it, just go to Window, Pathfinder, or you could use the shortcut Shift-Command and F9 or Shift-Control and F9. But to tell you the truth, I never use it. I make sure my panel is already loaded with my workspaces. Now for this tutorial, I separated my Pathfinder panel so it's easy to see what I'm doing. I also created a PDF for you with all the Pathfinder options and also an Illustrator Pathfinder practice file. And how to get this file, just click the link in the description. Just to recap the Pathfinder shape modes and Pathfinder modes, let me explain and show them on the screen how each and every single one works. As you can see, I've created two squares, one filled with green, the other one filled with brown. I'm going to create a copy on the side, so I can reuse the shapes again, and then I'll select both and apply the first shape mode called Unite. It combines both shapes into one new shape, and it will take the top shape and apply the color to the one in the back. Then I'm going to create another copy and show you how the minus front works. As you might guess, it will cut away the front and keep the back shape. After that, another copy, and we're going to use the intersect. Again, what this does, it will cut everything away and only keep where both shapes are intersecting, rear or left, with a small square. And then the last shape mode is the exclude. So basically where both shapes are overlapping, it will exclude that and knock it out. Now this is the standard shape mode, how they work. And of course you've used them often, but let me show you what happens when you actually press the Option or Alt key on your keyboard and then apply those shape modes. So let's do this again. For example, with the first, I'm going to press and hold the Option or Alt key and then press the Unite button. This is pretty much how you could group a shape. The difference here is that it did not unite it into a brand new shape like the first time. It preserves the shape. And what happened is that it created a compound shape out of it. Now with this, we can either alter the shapes within, move them closer together, or move them apart to get a new shape, and then select it and click the Expand button, which will pretty much expand the compound shape. Now what happens if we do the same, press Option and Alt, and click minus front? I still have my original shape within my compound shape. So with the direct selection tool, I can select it and then adjust my shape. And once you're happy with them, of course you can click the Expand shape again, and then you will have the outcome as if you did not press Option or Alt. Now the same applies, of course, to the intersect. I can still alter them, and last but not least, the same goes for the exclude. It is excluded, but I still have my original shapes. If I go to the first one where we did not press the Option or Alt key, I have two single shapes. Here I still have my squares, and I can adjust the distance or even the shape itself of it. Now this pretty much is the first row. You can't apply the Option or Alt on the second row for the Pathfinders. Now I'm going to get rid of all of this here, because this is just a quick intro, and I'm going to go over the Pathfinder on the bottom. Again, I'm creating a copy, and as you will guess, divide will divide everything. It automatically groups, so when I go to ungroup, I can pull the shapes away, and you can see that I have now 3 shapes out of the 2 shapes. Next, we're going to use the trim. What happens here, if I ungroup, that I'm creating 2 shapes. It basically trimmed the shape that was behind. After that, we have the merge. Now the merge does the same if you have 2 different colors as the trim. If I quickly show you, same effect. But what happens if the shapes are both the same color? I'll select the shapes and then apply merge. You can see that makes a brand new shape out of it. Now you might think this works the same as the Unite, but I can combine multiple shapes with the same colors. So let me demonstrate. I'm going to make a copy of my 2 shapes and then continue making copies of them underneath. And now I'll select them all and then press the Unite shape. You will notice that all of the colors in the front, the brown, will be applied to all of the other green shapes. I'm going to undo But if I press the merge in the Pathfinders, it will combine the green shapes and the brown shapes. And this is the difference between merge and unite. Now next I'm going to demonstrate the crop. Now crop works similar to intersect, but where intersect deletes everything that doesn't overlap and creates a brand new shape out of it, crop works similar to a clipping mask. Basically it uses the top object to crop or clip the bottom shape. And it also retains the path of the top shape. So watch what happens. So I apply it, and you can see that I have the green part where it overlaps, but I can also see that I have the path of the top shapes. The only difference is that it has no fill and no stroke. After that, I'm going to show you the outline. What that does, it will create outlines. Then you can set the stroke, for example, to 3 points. And then when you ungroup the shapes, you can see that you have outlines of your shape. Basically a stroke instead of a fill. And it at the same time has been cut into pieces as well. And then last but not least, the minus back. So basically what's in the back is going to get cut away. And as you will guess correctly, this is what I have left. There's no extra shape hidden. So basically the same way as the minus front is the minus back. With one slight difference, you cannot apply the Option Alt key to it. So this was pretty much an overview of the Pathfinder tools and what you can do with them. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, make sure to give it a like and also subscribe to the channel. Hit the tiny notification bell so you don't miss any future tutorials. And one important thing I want you to remember. The creative success you're after, you can make it happen, and I am here to help.